The attic of Blackwood Manor breathed with a scent of wet rot and ancient dust, a graveyard for memories Elias had long forgotten. Among the skeletal remains of moth-eaten furniture and shattered mirrors, he found a battered shoebox containing a single, grime-caked cassette tape. The plastic casing was yellowed, labeled only with a series of jagged scratches that looked less like handwriting and more like desperate claw marks. His grandfather had been a man of heavy silences, a man who took 1,000 secrets to his grave, yet the weight of this tape felt different. It pulsed with an unnatural coldness that seeped through Elias's skin. Driven by a morbid curiosity that defied his mounting dread, he slotted the tape into a rusted Walkman, the gears groaning in protest as the magnetic ribbon began to spin. At first, there was only the rhythmic hiss of white noise, a sound like a distant sea hitting a shore of broken glass. Then, a voice emerged, strained, distorted, and dripping with a malice that seemed to vibrate in the very air of the attic. It wasn't just a confession of a cold-blooded murder, it was a chronicle of a ritual. The voice belonged to his grandfather, but it was stripped of its usual warmth, replaced by a guttural cadence that described the precise location of the shallow graves beneath the floorboards of the very room where Elias now stood. As the tape played, the temperature plummeted, and the shadows in the corners began to lengthen and twist, detaching themselves from the walls like ink spilled into water. The tape revealed the secret not just through words, but through the wet, rhythmic thuds of a spade hitting soil that echoed through the headphones as if the digging were happening right behind him. The recording reached a fever pitch, the voice chanting in a forgotten tongue that felt like needles pressing against Elias's eardrums, until the tape suddenly snapped with a sharp, metallic crack. Silence rushed back in, but it was no longer empty. It was thick, suffocating, and inhabited. In the cracked mirror of the dusty vanity across from him, Elias saw a reflection that didn't belong to the room. The skeletal figure of his grandfather standing directly over his shoulder, his eyes replaced by tangled loops of the same magnetic black tape Elias had just been listening to. The realization hit him with a sickening jolt. The tape wasn't a record of the past, but a vessel for a lingering hunger. As the cold, translucent fingers of the dead man closed around his throat, Elias understood that the secret wasn't just how the victims died, but how the killer intended to stay alive, forever feeding on the bloodline that dared to listen.